Good afternoon, DIA Al Barsha community. We hope you're well and you've enjoyed another awesome week of distance learning at DIA. I'm sure you're all ready for a weekend. Now, this video is just to complement the letter and the parent administration guidance that went out today with regard to the NGRTs. That's the new group reading tests. And I'm sure you've already had a read through of the letter and a flick through of the administration guidance, but we wanted really to share with you via video that we hope you're not too worried, because these tests are certainly not the be-all and end-all. They are one piece of the jigsaw in your child's learning story, and they certainly won't be influencing end-of-year levels or anything like that. They will give us a really good idea of how your child might perform under a test condition on one specific day. And they test comprehension and reading. And those two skills can be demonstrated in the online tests by your child perhaps having to complete some missing words in sentences, having to read through paragraphs of text and answer some challenging questions. And the tests are also adaptive. Now, what that means is that they adapt depending on how your child is doing in the test. So if your child is doing really well in the start of the test, the questions will get trickier as they go through, as the test sees what they're capable of and might even be asking them questions that might be for a higher grade, just to give you an idea of what it might look like. So please don't panic if it's starting to get really tricky. It's just adapting to how your child is doing. And similarly, they might be adapting just slightly if your child might struggle with the start. It will just adapt to make sure that they experience success but are still challenged, to make sure that the tests give us the best possible information. Now, the strengths of every child and the areas for development of every child we receive back in a document from GL. And that gives us a really good idea, not only of what a child can do as a raw score at one point in time, it gives us a really good picture of the areas for development and the areas of strength within each grade, so that we can really adapt our curriculum to meet the needs of every student. So, for example, it might show that majority of the children really struggled with a particular type of question, and the teachers can then adapt their teaching to help improve that skill. So we do use the test outcomes to inform our teaching to ensure that we give our students the very best provision that we can. As parents, you will receive back whether your child is working towards, working at, or exceeding grade expectation. And again, you will receive that specifically about that test. So again, please don't worry if it's not the result that you wanted for your child, because it is just one piece of the jigsaw, and it certainly, as I've said, isn't going to really reflect in their end of year level. It's just another piece of information for us to gather. And this isn't new for us. We did do the NGRTs last year and we've used the data as well. So we wanted to do these tests just for us to get an idea of how the students are doing in their reading, how they might have progressed through the year, and to try and keep as much consistent as we possibly can during this challenging time. Now, these tests can be administered on Android tablets, Apple iPads, desktop PCs, laptops, MacBooks, so you will be able to access, or your child, sorry, will be able to access these tests on those devices. You don't need to rush out and buy any different technology. They can use headphones if they want to block out any external noise, but again, if the device has speakers, which it will have, you can just listen to the questions through the speakers as they are read out loud. And we know that the children find that really useful, as the test questions are not only written on the screen, but they can also hear them. And the test takes approximately 25 minutes. And again, as it's adaptive, you can spend a little bit more time if you need. But really, we encourage you to try and keep the momentum throughout the test. And if your child is really struggling with a question, to just click and just to move on to keep the pace. And don't worry too much about getting making sure that they're really becoming worried about getting every single question absolutely right. Your encouragement just to move on is all that they need. Now, you will have received the letter, which you will have read, and the parent administrator guidelines, but please do get in touch with me or your child's class teacher before next Thursday if you need any additional help. We are very, very happy to help. And Miss Jade and the PE team are creating a video that the grade 2 to 5 students will be able to do for a lovely PE warm-up to get their brains fully engaged, ready for test time. So that video will be shared on Specialist Wednesday, and the students can have a go at doing that at 9 a.m. before the test is due to be sat at 10 a.m. to really help getting them engaged. And we know that that has a really positive impact on student focus. So we would love you to give that a try as well if you can. So all that's left to be said from me is good luck. We know that you will do absolutely brilliantly. Try your very best. That's all that matters, and we wish you well. Bye for now.